2003, 2007, there was a lot of trial and error, a lot of speed bumps. The idea was just sell a bunch of gym memberships. But at the end of the day, people are going to join and cancel every day.
Yeah.
So how many locations do you have now?
So there's 18 current. We have 6 more opening this year.
These guys are the real deal. They are the real deal. Hello, everyone. This is Kevin
And Emma.
from U-Turn, and we're back at it again with some fantastic guests from the community. We have in our studio today, that's weird saying that studio today, huh?
Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's fine?
Yeah, it's fine.
The studio.
It's
We
fine.
got a studio. We're in our studio today, and we have Keegan and Mike. They are the owners of Fitness Premier. And I don't know if you guys ever got a chance to see that place. It is phenomenal. I know we have some people that actually attend there. Karen, and she goes over there. And
The one in Beecher.
Yeah.
And the
Louise just
transformation.
lost like 70 pounds or so.
Yeah.
70 pounds. I was about to say the transformation has been amazing. So, and she had just had a situation in her life, so it was really, really important to her. So, thank you guys for that. And she's one of our best employees here. So, we really appreciate it.
she's
So,
super nice.
guys, we
Yeah,
have
yeah.
Keegan and Mike here doing transformation physically and also emotionally. We just want to talk to them and just say, welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
thank you, for sure.
All right, so tell us about Fitness Premier and how did it start and whose brainchild was it?
Oh, wow. How much time you got?
right,
Yeah.
right. That's what always happens, right? People just think that it's easy, but it takes a lot, right?
It does. It does. You know, I've been fortunate enough to be part of Fitness Premier since 2011.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Prior to that, I was a teacher, a coach, a principal in the area. And on the side, I was a personal trainer.
Okay.
And I became friends with the actual owner of Premier Fitness at the
Okay.
time, which was Jason Markowitz.
Okay.
And he's no different than Keegan and I. He started cleaning treadmills, like selling memberships, like fresh out of college. And back in the day, Cardinal Fitness was actually the original chain.
I remember Cardinal
Okay.
Fitness.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was started by a guy named John Ballenhorst,
Okay.
and his nickname was Cardinal.
Okay.
So they named it Cardinal Fitness. But when they opened up Cardinal Fitness, the idea was to, pass future locations on to family members only.
Really?
So that's how Cardinal Fitness started. They had over 50 locations, and they were owned by various people
Okay.
in the company that were in the family Ballenhorst.
All right.
So Jason worked for John at one of his locations up in Chicagoland area, and he said, "Hey, I want to go open a store in Bourbonnais, Illinois." So he would be the first person outside of the family. So it was far enough south. It was south of 80. All the other Cardinals were pretty much north of 80, and there was some issues along the way that didn't work out. Families started suing each other, and Jason said, "Hey, we want to branch off.
Oh, wow.
Can you just sell off this one location to us?"
Yeah.
And we'll just go our own separate ways. The agreement was you'll stay north of 80, we'll stay south of 80.
Okay.
So that's how Fitness Premier started.
Okay.
And I know that story because I've heard it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
No, that's super interesting because you don't ever think about that kind of stuff. Like, you don't think about how it actually came to be.
Yeah.
You just see it up and running, and you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah. So it was actually a franchise started, and then you changed the name.
No, it was a privately owned gym, one location in Bourbonnais. That's the OG.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that was 2003.
Okay.
Okay.
2003, 2007, there was a lot of trial and error, a lot of speed bumps, a lot of hiccups. But one thing they did well was they started that first $19 gym membership. So they were pre-Planet, pre-everybody else. Let's just lowball everybody and just sell a crap ton of gym memberships.
Are you kidding me?
So they were part of the problem.
Right, right. No. But look here. I've seen your place and I've seen Planet Fitness, and I hate to say that because I'm a member of Planet Fitness because it's cheap, right?
Yeah.
But I drove past there. I'm like this. I can't afford that place. Right? It looks nice. I mean, your place really looks nice.
I mean, we've adjusted a lot of things here and there along the way, and I'll get into this story. How much time we got, but the idea was just sell a bunch of gym memberships. Right? There really was no small group training. There was no one-on-one training. It was just put out a good brand, keep it clean, customer service friendly, and really forward facing. But at the end of the day, people are going to join and cancel every day.
Yeah.
What can we do to make their experience better? That's what we've always done well.
Oh, wow.
And it's exceedingly way better now than it was back then.
Yeah.
Because we were selling 4,000 or 5,000 memberships total in a year, and now we're a third of that.
Wow.
But we shifted our model more value.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we feel like people will pay a little bit more if they see value in what they're paying for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Clearly, what you said, you know,
It looks
speaks
great.
volumes to us.
It really, and it's always packed. Every time I drive past there, it's always packed. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, we do well. You
Yeah.
know, we don't have a 4,000 memberships anymore,
Yeah.
but the people that we do have are the ones that are using the gym. They're coming in.
Yeah.
Our team there's outstanding. Like, I've been in business a long time, and I was a principal and a teacher and a coach, and I would put our reputation out there. I mean, if you check Google, you check reviews, you talk to people in the community, like, people wear gold belt. Like, I feel like we wear the gold belt in the industry.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we are who people want to be.
Right.
Exactly.
And I believe it's because of the people we have that work for us. I'm sure you can say the same thing about the reputation you have at Court Street.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. This, you know, we've had came off one of our record months this month. Everybody keeps saying, "Congratulations! I couldn't think you could do it." And I go like this. You know what? It's these people here, man. They get behind a project and with everything. I mean, even when we're doing volunteer work, or we out there doing the parades, or we out there trunk or treat, or with the backpack to school. You guys participate in that stuff too, right? We did a couple of things. So
Say yes.
they just
Always
they
say
just
yes.
jump right in this podcast, right?
Yeah, I made Kevin do this. I was like,
Right.
Kevin, listen, I had a dream that we started a podcast. And he goes, shut up, because I've been hearing in my head, start a podcast.
Yeah.
And then it transformed, and now we're here.
So
Yeah,
How you do it?
We started our own one as well. We do Athletes to Ownership.
Oh,
It's
wow.
Kind of our own podcast.
Yeah.
athletes to ownership. I like that. So what is that about?
That's
Is that-
essentially what the name says.
So like for
It's-
people who own businesses and
Yeah,
stuff?
if they're an athlete and they thought about getting into ownership, what that would look like, what the perfect trajectory is, and
Okay.
how to help people get there as fast as possible.
I like
And
that.
it's literally the same thing. We're just sitting down talking to people about how to make that happen. What are some of the speed bumps? What are the roadblocks?
Yeah.
And for us, it's about finding a solution, helping them get there.
Yeah,
So.
for sure.
How
So
long ago did go ahead, I'm sorry.
How did you end up buying in or becoming an owner?
Well, leaving education was quite a hurdle.
Yeah.
I interviewed for a job in Manteno, Illinois, and that was their second location. And when I interviewed, I had a job offer, but I was making good money. I was a principal of school, teacher, coach, working personal training on the side.
Yeah.
How I was paid to personal train, they gave me a free gym membership. So that was all I wanted.
Yeah, you
But
were
I
like,
love
yeah, as long as
fitness.
as long as I don't have to pay for it,
I'm in.
good. Yeah.
Listen, I'm in.
I love fitness. I love helping people. I love teaching people, educating people. So one thing about teaching is kids have to be there.
Yeah.
So the challenges were when I got into the school and I would wear like a suit every day. That's what drove me out of education.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm talking to the same kids, the same parents, and everyone's doing a lot of this and not looking back in the mirror.
Yeah.
And I would be the one saying, a lot of this is on you. It's not always on us. And
Yeah.
So that took a lot out
It's
of me.
always
and
on us,
it
right?
was,
Yeah.
Right.
It is.
It was extremely draining. So when I left education, I took that leap of faith. I took a 75% pay cut.
Oh, wow.
But what Jason and Rick King, who was the VP of Fitness Premier at the time, laid out to me was the plan and the strategy and the way they're going to grow, and they wanted me to be a part of it.
And that was only with 2 locations, right?
And that was 2 locations.
Yeah.
So how many locations do you have now?
So there's 18 current. We have 6 more opening this year.
Wow, I did
wow.
not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's 18 locations with 6 more coming on.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, amazing, beautiful.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And how long has it been going?
2003 was the first one.
Wow.
And,
Wow.
and we didn't become a franchise officially till 2016.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Amazing. Wow.
Yeah. And I bought my first one in the end of 2015, which was Manteno.
So were you married back then when you decided?
Yeah, I was going to get into that. So I went home and told my wife. And back then, it was like computers were a thing, but they weren't like as popular as they are now. Technology was not as. So I had this sheet of paper. It was black and white, and it had job pay. Here's what you're going to get paid. And I'm handing this over to my wife, and I'm
Like
showing it to
shaking,
her.
like-
And I go, "Here's what I'm going to do, babe. I'm leaving. I'm taking this job." And she goes, "No, you're not." She's not an optimist.
Yeah.
She's a realist.
Yeah.
She's extremely pessimistic about a lot of things,
Yeah.
and she wants to have a guarantee.
Yeah.
There was nothing guaranteed with converting over from being an administrator over to manage a gym, and you're going to go pick up weights for a living.
Gym. Yeah. Yeah. You just want to work out all day, right?
Right. And yeah. So it was a huge leap of faith.
Yeah, it was. I can only
6
imagine.
very, very challenging years when I converted. side jobs, working literally day and night, 5 a.m. till 8 p.m., Monday through Friday. Saturdays, I was there 8 to noon.
Wow.
Sometimes going on Sundays and train clients just to make ends meet.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I really learned along the way is I could not do it myself. It took me a long time to figure that out. I was a go-getter. I would do everything I could to try and make things work. But one thing I struggled with was, training, developing others.
Yeah.
Which we do a much better job of now.
Yeah.
But I always said I don't have time to train others. I'm training clients. I'm teaching classes. I'm trying to run a business.
Yeah.
I never took a business class in my life.
Really?
Ever.
Yeah.
I could barely even spell the word business. I'm trying to run a business.
Yeah.
So the educational purpose is where it was the business school of hard knocks. Like
Yeah.
for 6 years, we had to learn really, really quick. We had to adapt.
Yeah.
And part of the strategy with Jason and Rick is they wanted me to beta test these things, these locations, so we can do it at the next location, next location, next location.
Yeah.
So Mike will do it. Let's do it there first.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was kind of the.
Mike could do it. Let's try Mikey.
That's right.
Remember that? That was before your time. It was a Life cereal commercial. It was a long time. Let's try. He like it. He give it to Mikey. Yeah, that's what they give it to Mikey. He'll run with it. Huh?
That's right.
Do you know what they're talking about?
Yeah.
I don't.
Let's see. Right. Don't worry about Keegan.
I can do it.
Right. He likes it, dude. And he just went in and just made it happen. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That is awesome.
I sometimes have to pinch myself.
Yeah.
Everything that happened was for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
The life plan wasn't supposed to take 6 years.
Yeah.
But the lessons that I learned along the way, and the fact that I partnered with people like Jason and Rick, that gave me this opportunity.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the money to buy in,
Yeah.
but my sweat proved that I was worth it. So I was given a small equity in Mantino.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I used that as my down payment. I went to the SBA, got an SBA loan for 10 years. I took my equity that I earned as my down payment. I borrowed $90,000 from Jason Markowitz, who owned Mantino, on the side, and I immediately paid him back.
So listen, hold on. Look, I wanna touch on this. This is huge.
The phone.
Yeah, this is huge. Unplug it, because this is amazing what you just said, and this is what don't get hit on these shows or get hit on how you use creative financing, if you will. To use, I always tell people, there's no shortage of money out there. It's just that we don't have it, right?
Yeah.
But if people pay for talent, in the Bible it says your gift will make room before kings, right? And basically it was your gift and got you in position with these guys that saw your vision. SBA said, hey, I know you trained to be a principal, but you want to be a business owner. They backed you. You used your sweat equity, and you'll just go grind it each and every day. And people saw that, and they was attracted to that.
That's right.
So I think that's what I really love about America. We started this whole podcast off. It's the American dream alive, right? And we always talk about home ownership. Some young people, they say young people can't afford homes, that you got to wait and stuff like this. And we've been blessed that we have 10 people that's under 30 years old that's homeowners, right? And so we started to take that a little bit further about being business owners. Are people scared to go out there and do their own thing? Can people do it? But what you just said is like what most people don't realize. You don't necessarily have to be born into wealth, right? You don't necessarily have to be born with money, or you have to have a big savings account. You took your hard work ethic, went in what you knew, your skill, and you said, hey, I want to be a business owner. You say, hey, honey. She said, right?
Listen, I had to answer the question, how do you plan on doing this? And I said, I will outwork everybody. Will Smith said this before.
Yes,
Me and you are on a treadmill. You're going to be the first one to get off.
Yep.
That was my mentality.
Yes.
I'm going to win.
I said the same thing. I told her, I said, I may not be the smartest person in the room. I may not be the strongest or fastest, but I'm going to outwork you. I promise you that. I'll be the first one there. I'm going to be the last one to leave. That's it.
And shifting over to Keegan, the guy sitting next to me, that's exactly the reason why we are growing so fast. Is because I learned really quick that I had to find somebody else that could do it. And when I laid out this plan, the first thing he said was, okay, let's do it. He didn't even let's figure this out.
All right.
He came on as a trainer. he learned really quick that he wanted to get involved in business,
Yep.
and I spent a lot of time developing him, training him, giving him the same opportunity that Jason and Rick gave me.
Okay.
And I promised him it wouldn't take 6 years.
So you learn. So mentorship.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right,
man,
Keegan.
changed
That's
my life.
all right. That's the segue, man. That's
yeah,
it.
Yeah. So I mean, really, before I started at Fitness Premier, I was just doing electrical work, like something totally completely different for a couple years.
Yeah, and that's a good industry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was. I mean, yeah, I was making good money with, and it was not something I was enjoying. I actually worked like overnights with it for a while. So I was working like 8 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. Driving, an hour and a half away for work. I still lived around here, so did that for a few years, and met with Mike at Mantino, our Mantino location, because I wanted to switch things up and really get into something I actually cared about and had a passion for.
Yeah.
Because fitness has changed my life completely.
Oh, yeah.
And I really wanted to make sure I was actually helping people overcome obstacles and issues that I had when I was either trying to lose weight or get in better shape. And I know.
Hold on, time out.
Yeah.
Time out. You said when you was trying to lose weight or get in shape.
Yeah.
Man, when you first walked in here, I'm like this. Who let the Ken doll in? I mean, this dude is ripped. Right?
I wasn't always ripped though. I really
Seriously?
wasn't, for sure. And I wasn't hugely overweight or anything like that, but I had pudge on me, and I'd always worked out, but I went through phases, and everything. And but yeah, for me personally, it definitely has changed my life physically, mentally, really taking care of my health and fitness, and so I wanted to help people fast track that instead of how long it took me, fast track it and give them an easier route to get there.
Wow.
So that's when I went with Mike and Mantino. He outlined like the opportunity for me the first time we met. And I just started off as a part-time trainer. He said actually keep my job as an electrician, see if I like doing this. When he offered me the job, I immediately quit my other job and I was like, I'll just go all in with it. And so I did, and eventually worked into an assistant manager position at Mantino. We were managing that location with one of our other staff there in Brandon, and then eventually got the opportunity to help go manage and buy into the location with us at Bourbonnais here.
Okay. All right. So that's
and
your
that's-
location over here.
But yeah, with Mike, with his help,
All right.
he let me buy into that location. And when we were at the time, it was we hadn't done any sort of remodel yet.
Yeah.
This is what, like two years ago now, right, Mike?
Yeah, it's 2021.
2021.
So a little bit longer than that, but yeah,
Oh, yeah.
2021 we started having that conversation.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So going into it, when we first got to Bourbonnais, it was a little bit rocky. Start with it back into it. It's been our oldest club, but it was a little different culture-wise. It wasn't exactly what we were shooting for at Fitness Premier. Different staffing and management issues in the past.
Yeah.
So my main focus when we first got there was just bringing back like the family, like fun, caring environment, and really putting a big emphasis on our service, like our personal training, our group training.
The member experience. Like
Wow.
when
Yeah.
they come in, you want them to leave with a smile on their face.
Exactly.
You need to invest in your team. They need to believe in your vision, create core values that make sense.
Okay.
And you want to instill that not only in our team members, but also in our members ourselves. So that takes time.
That does.
And
the
we
hard
didn't really
work.
have a team at the time. Like when I first got there, we didn't really have much of a team at all. So we kind of started from scratch again, and going from where we were there to now where we're at now. Like our team is
Phenomenal.
they're great energy.
Yeah.
They bring energy every day. Welcome every single member in. Not even just caring about anything else, but actually helping that individual they're meeting with.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. They care.
I can
they have
see,
a lot of
man. You
energy.
smiling, but he's talking about it. Now, how old were you when you had the opportunity to buy in? If you don't mind me
23
asking.
I think I was 20. I must have been 23.
That's
I believe I
awesome.
was 23, 22 at the time. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's changed my life completely. It really has.
So
Wow.
yeah, it kind of gives me goosebumps to think back to this conversation. And I was more afraid for him than I was like at the time than I am now. Like we'll have this conversation now. He's like, yeah, I'm all in. Let's do it.
Yeah.
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 But at the time, like I was laying out a roadmap that I didn't know if I truly believe would work.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know Bourbonnais and I know the challenges that we were going through at the time, but I needed a wingman to do it with me.
Yep.
So to sell him like a 1X offering for a club,
Yep.
that was probably worth a little bit more at the time. But we've turned around and now like double our revenue, like increased the penetration percentage.
Love that.
Like we increased our pricing and now the value is so much better. And it's not about just that. It's about the strategy and the team and the buy-in. And we just drive it every single day. And we've been in this community 25 years.
25 years.
And
Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
it's a tremendous. Bourbonnais is the OG.
Yeah.
That's allowed us to perfect the model.
Uh-huh.
Make a few adjustments here and there, and now it's allowed us to scale across multiple states. And we're open 6 new locations outside of Illinois this year.
So what's the hours like over there? What are the hours?
We're never closed, man.
Is it 24 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
So
not
do you
know that.
have someone in
365
there
days a year.
overnight, or is it like one of those scanning?
You're in
Yeah.
there. You're in there. You can go in overnight.
I know. Yeah.
No, staff's only there till 8.
All right. So 24 hours you can go in there. I should have checked that place out. I got to get over there, man. So you mind? What is like a basic membership to get in?
Good question. So we have a lot of different amenities. Just to get 24-hour access is $39.95 a month.
That's reasonable.
We don't do contracts. Everything month to month. But again, the value's in the experience.
Yeah.
Place is beautiful. It's clean. It has high-end like life fitness equipment.
It
all
does. I'm
matrix.
telling you, when I drove by there, I'm like this. When I first moved to this area, and I promise you, man, no shade on Planet Fitness, but they different all over the places, right? Some of them are clean, some of them not. But when I drove down the street, I would drive past yours every day. I'm like, I'm gonna stop in there. I'm gonna stop in there.
Sure.
And I would drive and go to Planet. Every time I get to that one, I was like, this thing is garbage, right?
Yeah.
But I should have stopped in there. I just assumed. It looks beautiful. It
Thank you.
really does.
Thank you.
It looks beautiful, and I just assumed that it was like you said, a lifetime, $120 a month.
Yeah, I mean, we do have different tiers for
Yeah.
obvious reasons. We are a business.
Yeah,
but
but
the more
Lifetime Fitness, they don't give you an option. It's just the
got it.
120. That's just it.
Because you
They
were
don't tier it up. It's just it.
You were going to Lifetime Fitness when you
Well,
first moved here,
with
right?
in Arizona, there's one right across the street, and my wife, she ain't going to the Planet Fitness, that's for
Yeah.
me. So,
Sounds a little bougie.
Yeah. And they hit per person. I was like this, well, baby, you can go over there. Can you get a guest pass? She said no. They charge for the guest pass. So I'm saying you guys got a really good thing going on there. I promise you. I promise you. So I'm gonna look. You may have a new member sign it up. You know what I mean?
Well, we're going to have a new member. sign
You're
up.
going to have a new member sign up.
That's right.
Emma?
Emma's already in. She's
Cooper?
Yeah.
You already been talking to your bro? All right. Cooper, so that's right. So our producer, Cooper, who we talk about that you guys never see, I promise you, he's there. His brother is a trainer over there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, these guys are the real deal. They are the real deal. So let me ask you a question. I know you hit that. How old were you when you said, I'm leaving? Because most people, like my sister, she's in education, and she is counting down there. I got 2 more years because she's going to get the full potential. She's going to get the full thing like that. I mean, how did you walk away from, because that's the golden handcuff, right? You get the pension, and it's there. I mean, that must have took a serious leap of faith to leave.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. Take a 75% pay cut.
Right, 75% pay
If
cut.
they would have told me it'd take me 6 years, I probably wouldn't have done it.
Yeah. But you're probably so glad you did.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, again, I pinch myself all the time.
You probably
'cause
live a
you're
lot
like, oh my
longer now too.
gosh.
You actually get up going excited to go to work now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not working 70 hours a week like I was when I first started anymore.
Yeah.
But I have a different role in the company than I do because of guys like Keegan.
Yeah.
It's allowed me to kind of perfect my skill set in regards to helping us grow the franchise.
Yeah.
But I was 35 years old when I left education.
Wow.
So 35, it was
you
like,
still were young in your
it's a
prime.
U-turn.
Yeah.
U-turn in my life, right?
U-turn. Yeah, that's exactly right. That was a U-turn for real.
No, it
That was a
was.
serious
Yeah.
U-turn.
Yeah.
I'm done with education. I'm 35. Did you have any kids at the time?
I did. I had 2. I had 2.
That was a bold move.
And a $2,500 mortgage, and a
Yeah.
$600 car payment. And
Yeah.
I had to borrow from my wife's family after the first year, and trust me, there was day by day I was like, do I go back to education? I can go.
Yeah.
These jobs are available, and
They're there
I can
for
get
you.
a job.
Yeah.
And I went to interview, and I actually got offered a job at a local school, and I said, I went back to Jason and said, hey, Jason, I don't know
I'm
what to do.
struggling,
And
yeah.
Jason said, well, we'll give you, that's when we started having the equity conversation.
Wow.
So
That's good, man.
if you don't ask, you're never going to get it.
That's it. That's
So
it.
that was the right decision,
It
and
was.
it worked out. And
And now you're affecting lives with Keegan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
Isn't it-
So the road to franchisee, the operator like program that we have, is what we've really built out, and
Yeah.
how to get people to really believe that.
Yeah.
And the challenges along the way are going to happen.
Yep.
But what we've done is we've created a road book 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
So
good.
freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior year, that's kind of what we
Graduate. Yeah.
put this
Yeah.
into. And it's allowed him to do it in under 2 years.
So
Congratulations.
Thank you, I
Keegan, did you
appreciate it.
see yourself in him, and is that why you didn't offer him that opportunity?
I don't know. I don't
Or
know.
Just,
I mean,
it felt right.
so I didn't know if he was ready to take over a club yet.
Yeah.
And we didn't really give him the management role yet in Bourbonnais. We did have Brandon at the time.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of like benefit with having Brandon and him and Mantino.
Yeah.
And Mantino's my baby. It was my baby.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
that's
that was
where
your first store.
my first store. We were a lot of income. That was where 90% of my revenue came from.
Yeah.
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 Bourbonnais, I had a small piece at the time.
Yeah.
And it wasn't making a lot of money.
Yeah.
No.
And I'm like, I don't really know if I want to put him in that scenario and potentially lose him.
Right.
So I was scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's good, right?
Yeah.
Because as you try to expand, you want to make sure you put the best opportunity for him, but
Right.
you don't want to lose your key people.
You got it.
That's
Yeah, yeah.
That's and you say you never took any management class, no business class,
No.
right?
Yeah,
That's just
no.
okay, man.
School of hard knocks.
Yeah,
man.
it
It's
is.
just-
It
yeah,
is.
yeah.
But that's a great thought process,
Mhm.
right? Because you don't you want him to grow, but you don't lose your best employee by
That's right.
putting him in a smaller store that'll suck.
I read a lot of books.
Yeah.
I talk to people who are a hell of a lot smarter than me. I ask a lot of questions, and I've done that for the past 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just it makes sense.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So you have not regretted it, huh?
No, not at all, man. I mean, it was definitely scary going into it. Like like you mentioned, like going into Bourbonnais, because when they asked me to like go there, like it was everything I had, like
Yeah.
income, like savings wise, like I just put all into it. Like
All right.
I believe he did too, when he first started. So it was scary. Like, but I trusted what he was saying. Outlining the vision and going with the game plan and trying to flip things around with what we had culture wise and everything. It has paid off, and we continue to really focus on that and grow our team from here too.
Well, let's talk about culture, because I'm big on culture, right? I ran a bunch of stores, and I always tell people, I do pretty good, but I used to tell people back in I say, I promise you, if I'm not having fun, I'm not doing it. Like I'm not coming. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna bust my butt. But I better appreciate the things that I'm doing and the people around me. How do you create that culture? Because that's huge, right? I used to hear all the time that, your store is different, Kevin. We could tell the difference when we walk in your store. But I think it comes from the leadership, absolutely, right?
No doubt.
But how do you create culture? Because I think what people realize, they think they can have a good product and it's going to be well. But it's always the 3 Ps, right? People, process, procedures, right? So how do you create that culture, that winning culture, or the culture that makes people want to be a part of that, and that your customers can feel when they walk into the place? Because I've heard great things again about your store and
Thank you.
when our employees work here. So she just loves the place. So
Yeah, it's a testament to Jason and Rick, who started the franchise. And what I've learned from them. They've done it, they've lived it, they've experienced it, and they've passed it on to me. So my job was to continue their traditions, their legacy. And we created core values that we complete, and we hired EOS, which is an entrepreneurial operating system to kind of help us, create our own core values. Do they align with our vision? We read a book called Traction, and it allows us to create like a 10-year, 3-year, 1-year accountability chart for all locations. But at the end of the day, it has to be whoever is at the top of the pyramid chain, which is typically the leader.
Yeah.
You're doing everything everybody else is doing times 10.
Yeah,
Like it's speed of the
exactly.
leader, speed of the group.
that's exactly right.
So if you're getting there at 8, I'm getting there at 7:30.
Yeah.
If you're staying till late, I'm staying till 8:30.
Yeah.
Because you're going to ask them to do things, you're not doing those things, you're not going to have any buy-in.
Exactly.
So that might take time, but if you're not doing that, it's easier said than it is done.
Yeah, for sure.
But those are the type of people we look to attract, and we can't tell someone to do that without us doing it first.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
So how heavily involved is? Were you about to say something?
No.
I thought you
keep
had
going.
no, because I know
No,
you building that culture too. So go ahead, Keegan. If you got something,
No,
give it to us.
I mean nothing crazy. No, like just what he was saying. Like I've struggled with that in the past, and but really focus on what he's saying on showing up early and staying late. That's something I've done well in, and that's one area that I've done well. I've done a lot of not so great things leadership wise. Like everybody, as you learn as you go.
You learn as you go.
Maybe being too hard on people at times.
Yeah.
Expecting too much or something, but that's something that I'm working on right now, and as I continue to grow, because we're all like, I'm only 25, so I'm definitely not where I want to be yet.
So
I'm not a perfect leader.
I know, because some people are older than you, right? And you gotta get the best out of them, and make them feel proud to do it, right?
For sure.
One thing I want to add to that, he's very humble.
Yeah.
Okay, he's very humble. He's a tremendous leader at 25 years old.
Awesome.
He's been doing this since he started.
Yeah.
But work ethic is his strongest asset, which is why we align well in vision.
Yeah.
But one thing I've taught him is one of your biggest experiences are your experiences.
Yeah.
How do you become better at something you learn? I've learned a lot of, like, school hard knocks.
Oh, yeah.
So because I didn't spend time training and developing, I said, we're going to start doing this now when you start.
Yeah.
So creating a scorecard for all your team members, not just on profitability for the locations, but even outside of work. What are they doing to grow themselves? Invest in your team if you want your team to stay.
Yeah.
So we always say our most important members are not our members, it's our team members.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he has individual one-on-one meetings with every single team member. If they're in the kids' room or they're a manager or they're an operating partner, that doesn't matter. And it's set. Never leave an appointment without your next appointment set.
Yeah.
So investing in them, they're going to invest in you.
Yeah.
I run a mastermind group that we meet once a month, and our entire company's invited. You know who shows up? The team that I work with.
Yeah.
They believe it. Now it's hard for me to get people to travel outside and come to my but I'm giving that away.
Yeah.
So it's an emerging leader group, and we're investing in them. So it's all about personal development. It's not just about business development.
Exactly.
So that allows us to really focus on the members' experience, the team members' experience, to create culture, and that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Reading books, developing yourself, like investing. They have to work out. You're going to work out. If you're going to work here, you're going to work out.
Right.
You look good if you're going to
look good. Right. They want to look like you, okay?
So as a team, we're working out together.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That makes it fun.
It does.
How many meetings do you have, like, with your individual employees?
It depends.
Like, is it like once a week, once a month?
Everybody's different.
Okay.
Like with one of our managers at Bourbonnais, Ricky. Like I'll meet with him more often than anyone, especially now since I'm going to Mantino more.
Did Ricky come to Fall Fest?
I think so.
Yes,
yes, he was the one.
Yes.
A lot of energy.
Real nice.
Fun.
Yeah. Super nice.
The best.
Great kid. He was a great
So
kid.
fortunate.
He was super awesome.
Yeah, he is awesome. He's really awesome. So so like him and I, we'll meet more often. We'll meet like once a week, going over for one his, like Mike said, his personal goals outside of the gym, talking about those things, but also focus on what are we doing right here? What do we have to fix or course correct to get back on track in certain areas? Because like anybody, accountability. Like Mike holds me accountable. It kind of trickles down the line to make sure we're all doing what we need to and having fun on the way.
All right.
That's a good idea.
So how long you been working together? So now you're not so hard when I'm gone. You're not.
I should do that with the salesman.
Yeah, do that with the sales. That'd be great, wouldn't it? You should do that.
I'm telling you, if you create
That's
a scorecard,
a great idea.
Scorecard not just about work, but even about personal.
Yeah, because there's like some people on the sales floor, and they just need a little extra help. So like the one person I met with, and we kind of just went over things, and he told me how it was just hard overcoming objections and stuff like that. So we're trying to fix it, but I think it would be nice to do it with everyone.
Do you know how you get at overcoming objections? You practice on overcoming objections.
Yeah, so that's what we did is like we ended up
I'm the most impatient person on the planet.
Yeah.
And I tried to work on things that develop more patience.
Yeah.
I want to interject and I can't.
No, that's me. I'm so
so tell us about the mastermind. What is the mastermind? Is that for the team members as well as your members?
No, it's just our team members.
Okay.
So our emerging leaders. So people that want to become franchisees, managers, like they just want to grow themselves.
Yeah.
And I don't ask them for anything other than just show up on a Friday.
Yeah.
One time a month. 2 hours.
Yeah. And you
I just pour into them.
That's what's
and we have a curriculum that we're creating we're always training on something different.
Yeah.
Very rarely are we talking about work.
Yeah.
It's more about personal development stuff.
Yeah. That's good.
That's
you heard of Culture Index?
No.
You should look into that.
Cultural Index. All right, I like that.
So Culture Index is a hiring tool and a managing tool that
Okay.
we brought on in 2002. I'm sure you've heard of DISC, like a DISC survey. So Culture Index is just like DISC.
Okay.
The deviation between how accurate they are, DISC is about 54% accurate. Culture Index is 92% accurate.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
So you can't manipulate the answer.
Yeah.
So the one thing with Culture Index we've learned is before you hire people, you send them a survey, and you're finding out how people are wired.
Yeah.
Because as we know, when you're interviewing people, they're going to give you who they're not. They're going to give you
Yeah,
exactly
they're
what
gonna
it says
say
in their
it.
resume.
Right.
And
Yeah, they
sometimes
hired
when
me.
we hire people,
I didn't hire you.
I
Let's
got hired
just
on the
correct that.
I got hired on the spot.
Let's correct that. I did not hire you.
It worked out though.
It worked out.
Yeah, it worked out.
No, she's great.
so the
But I
survey,
did promote you though. You
You did
promoted.
promote me.
There you
She's
go.
finance manager now, so
That's
she's
what's up.
she's doing big things over here. So
It's great.
So,
Congratulations.
Thank
yeah,
you.
we're glad to have her. She's a same thing, same type of deal. I mean, she's always quick to show up, always quick to do it. We had a meeting on Monday, 8:00, and we have a with the other stores, and she comes in with both of the babies. She said,
I was gonna
"My
be
babysitter's
late."
come. I'm gonna be late. They're gonna be like this. I like this. Bring them on in. We're gonna train them right now." They might have learned. I'll take that instead of getting a call like I can't make it because. Don't give me excuses, right?
Yeah.
So that was I was cool with that because I was a single dad at one time, and I was bringing my kids to work all the time, and my boss he understood it. But because of that, I outworked everyone else because he used to give me some grace with that. So
and that motivated you.
it motivated me,
Yeah.
right? I'm like, this guy's going to bat for me. I'm gonna go to bat for him.
That's right.
And it was always, it's a little chip on your shoulder like this. I could do it as a single dad better than you guys do it. So it was always that little thing. You always have to have something. I make up my own motivation. When I first came down here, I saw a couple of stores down here like this. They don't even know that I'm competing against them, right? And I just went after them, and that's how it works. So you
How
got
long
them
have you
over.
been in the car business?
Oh man, shoot, since 1989. Yeah, so it's been a
Okay.
while. Yep, yeah, that's when I first got into it. It was by accident.
Okay.
Girl I was seeing got pregnant. I was like, son, I need to get a job, right? And then next thing you know, I was working at Continental Bank, but it was the hours. The hours you only got paid by the hour, and I hate to say that it wasn't enough money, but it basically wasn't enough money, and I just figured that I was sitting next to people who didn't want to come to work, and I would get there again, first thing there, last thing, and I wanted something that I would be able to control my income, if you will, even though it was no ceiling. In car business, there is no ceiling, there's no floor, right?
Yeah, I mean,
That
it's
means you
all-
can make as much as you want, but there's no guarantee. But I figure if I go in there and just grind it out, I can get it. So
Yeah,
I
you're
got in
bound to
there
make
and I
money.
took a 2-week vacation from work and started selling cars and sent my 2-week notice after it, right? And just started grinding. And it just worked. I realized that I like talking to people more than I like being
So
at the
fun.
time in it was computer science that I went to school for. And it was I didn't need to be behind a computer. I need to be in front of people, talking to people, and I had fun and it worked out. So that's what happened.
I have a feeling if I sent you a CI survey, I would already know how you're wired just based on what you just said.
Yeah.
And that's the benefit of
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
their traits prior to meeting with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you hire them, now you know how to manage them based on how people are wired.
Yeah. See, that's good.
So how to
That
communicate
is
with them.
good.
That's good.
Because I mean, some of the people that we've been having coming in.
Well, you could tell right away,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
now that
I just interviewed
maybe
someone.
we
He was a nice kid. He
Well,
was a nice
like
kid.
if they,
Maybe we could do that
But it
for
was
some of the
good.
people that we do podcasts. She had somebody come in the other day on the podcast. My goodness.
It was
So
yesterday.
I'm going to give you
Not
an
a bad
example.
idea.
So if
That was Jason, not me.
if you came in for an interview
Mm-hmm.
and we asked you to give us a tour of the location,
Yeah.
and your body language would be like, "What? You want me to do what?" Like
Yeah.
if you can't communicate and
Right,
walk me around, like you're not going to be a perfect person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So putting people in a challenging position, how they're going to respond, like shows that they're willing to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What type of like work ethic do you have?
Oh man, I'm a fake it to
Yeah,
make
let's
it kind
do
of
it. Let's
person.
do
Like
it.
I'm gonna figure it out. Like
Yeah.
You're gonna
There you
suck.
I
go.
knew nothing about
Right,
cars.
right.
I knew
Yeah.
absolutely nothing about cars. I still don't know anything about cars,
Right.
which is so awful. But people like me, so it just works.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
that's
You can talk
that's
to people.
the biggest thing is that's what I tell everyone. I'm like, you can be as technical as possible, but if you don't know your customer base, you're never gonna succeed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you've done good with that. I mean, you were selling cars all over the country, right? You got people that She follow them on Facebook. It's that stuff. It's the extra stuff that you got to do. You can't just wait for things to happen. You know, I always tell you, there's 3 types of people in the world, right? You know, people make things happen, people who watch things happen. And then it's the third person that just say, what the hell just happened, right? So you got to be the person that make things happen, or you're going to be watching things happen, or you're just going to be sitting around not knowing what's going on. So you got to be doing what you're supposed to do. And that's what I like about you guys, man. You guys just came and just turned this podcast out.
I know, I mean, you guys made it happen. Figured out what you wanted to do and how to get there, and that's great.
And we still have speed bumps. Don't get me wrong. Like,
no,
it's not
of
rainbows
course.
and unicorns all the time.
And that was a big thing about the podcast is like, I know a lot of people out there who are like, oh, I wish I could be like them. Well, you can. What's stopping you?
Right.
Nothing is stopping you. You're stopping yourself. So it's refreshing to see like you guys made it work. And of course, there's going to be issues along the way. That's any business. That's anything. Even like Walmart has issues, and they're a multi-billion-dollar business. It's just
I have stock in Walmart.
So real quick, so what
stock in
person?
Walmart.
So on a personal level, what's the next big challenge that you guys both have?
You know, I kind of pumped the brakes on growth, and now it's just finding more people like Keegan.
That's good.
And really isolating kind of my focus and narrow my focus, because I'm on franchise development side now. I'm not really involved in the company. So for us to prove this model and grow like outside of Illinois is where all my attention's going. So I'm investing a lot of like time and energy there, which we're putting a lot of marketing dollars around because people don't know Fitness Premier outside of Illinois. Right? So franchise networks, broker networks, like we're hiring people outside of, you know, certain markets and really finding territories. So I'm doing a lot of traveling.
Wow.
So that's professionally the biggest focus now for me, because I have guys like Keegan, and he's tightening the ship and just running the systems and just driving the play.
Oh, nice. So how does your wife feel about it now?
She was able to stay home. She was a school teacher too.
Okay. Now.
So 2019, she took a hiatus from education, and she called it a sabbatical. That has turned into a forever thing. So now she stays home. She's able to, you know.
So you retired yourself and your wife from the school system.
Yeah, so
awesome.
We're all in. Like, I have no plan B. This is it.
That's it, man. That's awesome. That is great. That is great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, dude. You got to be pretty excited about that, right?
Yeah. I still have a wife that is still pessimistic at times, but
so my wife is the opposite. I'm a pretty big dreamer, but she's like this. Yeah. No,
you can do it.
Oh my goodness. So even when it came down to doing this store here, you know, I got 2 ears, right? I got the company that I'm working for. Now they're going all in. They just keep raising the stakes, right? They just keep upping the ante.
Always.
Right? And then all of a sudden I'm going like this. I said, baby, are you sure we're going to be taking a third of a pay cut? We're going to be like this. She's like this. Yeah. So I'm like this. But it's your decision. I kept going back and forth, wavering a little bit because it's starting to entice me. I'm like, I know this. I can retire soon, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden she brought a bunch of T-shirts, right? For everybody in the freaking family. I mean, she brought like 24 T-shirts. She went online, pop, brought 4 T-shirts, passed them out to everybody. Now my kids are wearing them. My in-laws are wearing them, right? And everywhere I kept going, she go like this, okay, Kevin Ford. Okay, Mr. Ford. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And I like this. I said, baby, I haven't made a decision yet. Okay, Kevin Ford. Okay, this is your dream. This is what you talked about. And I said, okay, fine. And, you know,
awesome.
We took the leap of faith and it's worked out. So,
wow.
No,
that's
but,
awesome, though. That's awesome. She kept pushing you to do that.
Oh, my goodness.
Awesome.
Dude, she was the driving force on that one for sure. You know, so it you know how it is. Like you go through training, you go through classes, and I thought I wanted to, but I didn't think I could, right? And then when I was able to, I was like, okay, maybe it's it. But then all of a sudden, you know, you weigh this or for the unknown. And at this point, I mean, you're 35, you can recruit. I'm 55 at the time. I'm like this. I got one last thing.
I'm 49 now.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But at 35, it's easy to make it this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, who's going to hire, you know, if I make that leap of faith, right, who's going to hire a 60-year-old? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sure.
I have to start on pushing carts. No, just joking.
I'd hire you. You just got to work out every day.
Oh, dude, I'm there. Hold on.
He's like, I'm there. What about you, Keegan? What are your personal goals or business goals?
Yeah.
Both.
So
tell us both. Yeah, you already know. Yeah.
So my focus is first really helping like people like
guy,
Ricky. Yeah, for sure. Mike's a great guy. My focus is really helping people like Ricky, some of our other team members go through the same process that I went through now. So Just like Mike did with me, he invested a lot of time in me, helped me personally grow. Like when I first started, I was a totally different person, not a huge people person. I'm great.
Really?
When I'm in the gyms, I'm great with the people, but I can really connect with them and really, especially in a one-on-one setting.
Yeah.
But before that, before I was like at Fitness Premier, you know, I didn't even know if I would be able to like train people well. Not gonna lie, along with being able to meet with the person for a whole hour, going through their goals, really dialing in on why it's important for them. So now my focus is spending the same amount of time that he put into me with our other team members, helping them grow, because I want to, you know, continue to grow as well with our businesses and get more locations as well is my focus. So I know we need a huge team to help get there as well.
You know what's weird that you say that? Because I remember when you came in, I said, man, this guy's pretty personable. I mean, he came in, he's like, so Kevin, so how long you been doing this? I mean, you started interviewing me right away, and I'm like, I just thought,
I was not always like that.
No,
it's
really.
Took a lot of effort. He's helped me with that a lot, and I do a lot still, personally, like outside of what we do in the gyms, just to, you know, personal growth. You know, it takes a lot of time. And he's the person that helped me get there. You know, he told me, hey, these are some podcasts that I listen to, and I just tried replicating it. It's not, I haven't done anything special. Like I'm honestly not something special. I just replicated what he's done and did the same thing, and it's helped me a ton.
That's why I used to tell people, I'm not the smartest person, but I'm a good copier, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, if I know it's worked for him, if I can do it in some way to that level, man, I can.
The thing is, this isn't my recipe. I've learned this from other people.
Yeah.
And all I'm doing is passing on what worked for me. I'm passing it on to him, and he's doing the same thing for others.
Yeah.
Like we don't listen to music. We listen to like educational stuff that's teaching us something, because our brain is the strongest muscle we have, and we need to keep feeding it.
Yeah.
For sure.
So why not do it while working out?
Yeah.
Work the muscle, but also work our brain at the same time.
That's the same thing. People ask me, they told me I was a freak because no, they say, they asked me,
Kevin,
well,
who called you a
When they
freak?
asked me, they said, what do you listen to when you work out?
Yeah.
Right? And I said, I don't know, it's probably I said, I got this playlist, it's got some motivation. Say, you don't listen to music? I said, no, I don't listen to music, right? Because it's mind, body, spirit, right? It's all three things. You're a three-part person, right? It's got to be everything. So I'm listening to this stuff, and then you go like this, you know, I was born a champion. I was raised a champion. You always be a champion. It's Billy Osborne, right? Right? That's what it is. I'm saying it out loud, right?
Right.
Money comes to me easily, frequently, and abundantly. Is that right? Words are powerful, right? And it's just saying that as I'm working out. But you're right. That's our strongest muscle, and it's what you're telling yourself, because people are going to tell you stuff all day long why you cannot do it.
That's right.
You got to be a louder voice than what the outside voice is saying.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
but that's awesome, man. Man, you guys are fantastic. I need to join Pretty. Look, give me my membership. I'm signing up right now. Just take my credit card, put it on file. I'm gonna see Vicky. I'm gonna see him.
I feel like this might be a cool fact. Me and Keegan actually went to high school together.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's
Did
funny.
you really?
Yeah. So we graduated the same year too.
Wow.
So
Really?
I feel like
Right,
that's kind of
Mantino.
So I
So
feel
you
like
just
that's kinda
holding on
funny.
to that? You weren't gonna bring that out on the
No,
podcast?
I don't know.
Wow.
I felt like it'd be a good tidbit. Like
Yeah.
after
Yeah,
that is a good one.
that we both went to school together.
Yeah.
Did you guys know each other then?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we did.
Mantino's small.
It is.
How big
Yeah.
is the school?
It's
But how was
I
graduating
don't
class?
know.
I should say.
like
What is-
160 maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think
There's
the whole
something like
school
that.
was like 600 people with 600 something with all 4 years. So yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wow! Did not
So in
know.
Small
Mantino,
school.
everyone knows everyone. That's just
true.
Mantino. I mean, even if you live in Mantino and you don't go to school there, everyone knows everyone.
Oh, cool. So when you knew he was coming on the podcast, you knew him already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know Mike? Have you ever been up to that Mantino over there? To the fitness over there? Do you know where it is?
Yes, I know where it is, but no, we met at the Fall Fest.
Okay.
This year, yeah, briefly.
Yeah, briefly.
Well, we got another one coming up, Fall Fest, and a back to school jam that we always do. We give away. Last year we did 100 backpacks, but we've been challenged this year to do 500, which is, you know what? The place that I was at before, we used to do back to school, and we give away 100 backpacks, and by the end of the day, maybe 60 of them are gone, and we still had about 40 left. So I'm giving away to
nice.
to the employees and all that. This year when we did it here, we gave away 100 backpacks, and in 20 minutes, all of it was gone. So we realized that the community came out to support, and we want to be there to support the community. So we want to amp that up to 500. So we'll definitely let you guys know about it. And then the Fall Fest again, that was your brainchild again. She came up with that idea that we'll do something like that again. And then what about, is that the Fall Fest, is that the trunk or treat, or is that something different?
Kevin.
There's a lot of things going on. Look here, okay? It's only been a couple of years, all right? I'm
That's when we
saying.
all had
There's
the
a lot of
vendors
things.
come.
There's a lot of
and
events.
Yes, I
everyone
remember. That was in there,
shopped.
right?
Yes.
Well, so what's then trunk or treat is different because we have
Yes.
vendors out here too. Trunk or
Did
treat.
we? No, I
Yeah,
think
we
we
had-
only had food trucks. Well, I mean,
No, we had people
kinda.
that we had people out there that
But they
had
weren't
giving away candy and stuff.
Yeah,
That's
but
a
they
different
weren't selling their
podcast.
stuff.
No, they wasn't selling stuff.
Yeah,
no,
they
they
were-
wasn't
they were
selling.
just
They
giving
was giving away
stuff
candy
away.
to people like that.
Yeah.
So like if you guys came to trunk or treat, would you give away candy or would you give away like
So we usually give away like a tattoo.
a tattoo?
Oh,
See?
that's cool.
See there? See, they
Yeah,
gotta keep it.
that's our logo.
Yeah,
You gotta
kids
keep
love
it-
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
know
keep
my
it
2-year-old.
healthy.
He loves stickers, like anything like
Give some
that. He's
apples
like,
or
give it
something.
to me.
Give some apples. Yeah,
Yeah,
something
apples.
nice or something like that, man. We gotta do it.
They're not going to
Blueberries.
eat the apple. They're gonna throw 'em in the toilet.
Blueberries, yeah.
Blueberries,
Candy.
blueberries, strawberries. Those are like gold to.
Yeah.
So, is there any last thing you want to tell our audience before we get out of here?
Yeah, I mean, Fitness Premier is our brand, but the main thing we really focus on is the member experience, like I said.
Yeah.
Our memberships are $39.95 month to month. We
Yeah.
don't do contracts.
Yeah.
The average lifespan of a gym member nationally is like under 2 months.
Really?
People stay with us almost a year.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So that says something. In fact, we've been doing this as long as we have. We just recently renovated Bourbonnais. We
Okay.
invested about $500,000 in that location. So not only the leadership, but also the investment. And we added in a sauna, cryotherapy,
Yeah.
human touch massage chairs. There's water machines. There's compression boots. There's Theraguns.
That's right up his alley.
We offer yoga, Zumba.
Sauna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys do Pilates?
So we don't, and it's in my.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it
If you
potentially.
guys do Pilates, I will come.
Okay, what's the difference between yoga and Pilates? I
So-
just want to know.
They're similar if you're
Yeah.
just doing the body weight,
Right.
but with Pilates specifically, you can buy what are called reformers,
Okay.
and those are about $5,000 each. So one person uses it, but you need dedicated space. It's probably about 10 feet long and
Okay.
about 3 feet wide.
Okay.
And there's specific studios out there that just do Pilates.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost similar.
So-
You're just using like some equipment.
It's just one piece of equipment, but an instructor is leading you through a workout.
Okay.
You generally have about 8 of them at a time.
Okay. Got it.
So huge investment, but it's a specialized thing. It's no different than a yoga studio,
Okay.
but we're
Yeah.
not a yoga studio. We offer
Yeah,
yoga. So we would offer a
exactly.
Pilates class.
Yeah.
The challenge there is you have to find a Pilates instructor that has a Pilates certification. So
That makes sense.
that's the challenge. We can't just offer Pilates.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to
Someone
teach
couldn't
Pilates.
like learn it and then.
No,
they'd have to be
we have to
certified.
have a certification.
Have you ever
That
taken
makes
Pilates?
Yeah, online.
There you go. There you go.
YouTube
Without the
video.
equipment.
Yeah,
It's a great
YouTube
workout.
video.
My daughter loves it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't. In all the videos I do, you don't have to have like any equipment. I mean, you can, but like it's up to your discretion.
I took a Pilates class for the first time with my 20-year-old daughter, who's like a ballet girl. She's
Oh.
a
Yeah.
freak. She's very flexible and
Yeah.
very athletic and still dances to this day.
Yeah.
I won't go back.
You're like, no way.
No way.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was 95-degree room, so it
Oh,
would be even
God,
harder.
yeah.
Oh.
I was
sucks.
dripping with sweat. It was so hard.
I do also have one more question. Did
Yeah.
Karen win your Beecher Fitness Premiere
You
thingy?
can't ask that on a.
Well, they
don't
don't.
know.
They don't have to. They don't
Yeah,
have to record
I'll have
this
to look
part.
it up.
But I'm curious because she went around and she said, "Will you guys please vote for me?"
We did vote for
We
it.
did, and we
Okay.
all
Yeah.
We
voted
did
for
vote
her.
for it. We did
love
vote
Karen.
for it.
She's
She
so
is
sweet.
amazing. She
Once
is
we get off
excellent.
this, I'll be able to check it and find out
I'm
for
just.
sure.
I'm just
Yeah,
curious
I think
because
they
she.
posted
Yeah.
it.
We did post
just
the winner.
recently.
I
Yeah,
thought she did
so-
say she won.
Did she?
Oh, well,
she
there we
didn't
go.
tell me
Yeah.
anything.
I know she was
Yeah.
excited about something, but she's.
I know because she came around and she was like,
Well, she is
first she goes,
amazing. She is.
yeah.
Like you said, it was
Yeah.
over 70-pound transformation, and it was it was during a difficult time. Well, she was already working out beforehand, but I think after that they really helped keep that
Yeah.
it's mind, body, spirit. You got to take
Yeah.
care of all 3
Yeah.
parts of a person. So
Yeah, that part's not going to be in the podcast, me asking that. I was just out of curiosity because she, like,
Yeah.
the way that she came up to me, she was like, "Where's your phone? This is very important."
Yes.
And I was like, I was like, "Oh,
And she
here."
took
and
a
she was like,
couple
"Go
of guys
to Facebook,"
over there with
and
her.
I was like, "What?"
You remember she took Tion to work out with her?
Yeah.
she was all in, man. But
Yeah.
she
Yeah,
loved
it's
it. She absolutely loved it. So
So that's another location. The beach location we just renovated. That club needed to be moved. We were
Really?
there
Yeah.
a long time,
Wow.
and it's been a huge transformation there. It's
I
as
didn't
big as
even know you
Bourbonnais.
had a Beecher
Really?
location.
Yeah.
I did
In
not
Beecher.
know you had a Beecher
We bought an old
location.
Beecher's
80s
nice.
hardware
It's a
building
nice-
and
Yeah.
converted it to a
Nice
fitness
location.
premier.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Just about 2 years ago now.
Mhm.
Right? Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. Just even this, I think it's only been like a year and a half.
I think it was 2 years in February.
For
That's
Beecher.
nice because I
Maybe
feel
a
like there's
year?
like
Oh,
nothing out in
a year?
Beecher.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I know, right?
So bad on time.
Yeah.
I know, just one big blur, right? Oh, great. Hey, guys, we appreciate your time. We're definitely going to be checking out Fitness Premier. You guys, is it Fitness Premier or Premier Fitness?
Fitness Premier.
All right, okay. We're definitely going to be checking out Fitness Premier. They're doing great work out there. You guys got to check them out. That's the best price. I mean, you're going to pay $20 or you're going to pay $40. It's definitely worth that for $20 to hang out with these guys. I'm inspired by the story. You guys have made our day. And thanks for coming out.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.